So are they going to continue that? So I think, on the rare earths front, the president has said this is a national security issue. So he's going to tariff these programs. And what we would like to see, in addition, right? Because you can't. I don't think we don't view that you can just get there through tariffs, right? The supply chain, I liken it. It's like water, right? If your house is leaking and you plug it, the water just goes somewhere else and it leaks somewhere else. So what you see is you may tariff something from China, and so they'll move it to Vietnam or Malaysia or Korea, and then it enters the United States through that, trade point. And so now you're just paying for it twice, because you're paying for the tariff to go there, and then you're paying for the upcharge for the guy on the way by who distributed it to you, the arbitrage. So without that second component of incentivizing domestic investment, it's just a Band-Aid, right? And it's not going to cover the whole wound. So we'd really like to see some tax incentives. And you saw it a little bit as a conservative. I'm not in love with this approach. The government taking a stake in the mine, in the critical mineral mine in California. I think we should leave the private sector to the private sector and not engage in government ownership of these things. That you never know what the next government's going to do. So that should be a private enterprise. But certainly incentivizing the investment. The president has a lot of tools. If he's going to invoke 232, the Defense Production Act certainly would be a nice complement to that, and would validate the idea that it's an emergency. The Defense Production Act, for those who are unfamiliar with it, World War II is what they used it during then. It allows you to speed approvals, speed permits, do things faster. And you got to, cuts approval time down significantly, right? We talk a lot about permitting and how long it takes the government to regulate everything. Invoking the Defense Production Act would speed that along, significantly. Because ultimately, time is money. The longer capital sits on the sidelines, the more opportunity cost is lost to other investments. And so I think, in addition to the 232s, the president should really think about how do we incentivize financially through tax incentives, domestic production, and can we speed up the projects by invoking the Defense Production Act?